Hello all of you little demons, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, and I've got a very special list for you today because, as you may well know, I do a lot of these what every X thinks of Y videos across the gaming and main channel, and I am back once more, a tour de farce as it were. But this time we're looking at another From Software game, and no, it's not Bloodborne, I'll get around to that, but indeed Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. And this is the thing, there are a lot of bosses in this game, and there are a lot of opinions about a lot of these bosses. Ooh. So let's buckle in. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and this is what every Sekiro Shadows Die Twice fan thinks about every Sekiro Shadows Die Twice boss. Let's do it. And also apologies if I butcher the pronunciation. Number 19, GENICHIRO ASHINA, the first fight. Okay, so there are two major things to learn from this game which get introduced in this very first boss battle. One, that this game is bloody hard and will beat the piss out of you as if you're a kidney being operated on by doctors who are only using steel toe cap boots to do the surgery. And two, that GENICHIRO ASHINA is an absolute shit. He does not take defeat at all with an ounce of grace. I hate him. Seriously, if you do manage to beat him here, the cheeky little whippet will have one of his goons distract you and then slice off your arm anyway. It's a dick move, bro. Number 18, Gyobu Masataka Oniwa. So your thoughts upon seeing this boss for the first time are likely going to be along the lines of, Jesus Christ, mate, did you bang your horse full of roids? Look at the bloody size of it. But once you get over its sheer size and intimidating factor, and the fact that it will stab you like kebab meat and then drag you along the shop floor like you're some sort of dirty after-party meal, he's actually less of a mare than you think. Thanks to him Tokyo drifting all day, he sets himself up for being attacked as he passes or grapple kicked in the face from a distance. It's an intimidating boss, but one that you can send to the glue factory pretty bloody easily. Number 17, Lady Butterfly. You know how the old saying goes, float like a butterfly, sting like a goddamn bint who won't get off her tightrope for more than 2 seconds. God, I hate this boss. Seriously, I know you love a bit of the old Cirque du Soleil, but you're driving me Cirque berserk, you Burke. Get down here and let me slap the wrinkles off you. Number 16, GENICHIRO ASHINA, the second fight. And so we meet again, Mr. ASHINA, if that is indeed your real name. Another test of strength, skill, and wits. I believe this will be a fair match indeed. What are you doing? No, I don't remember agreeing that lightning moves are okay. I don't have the ability to do that. No, I don't think that timing window counts as fair. I've got a pacemaker, bro. This is classed as insensitive. Number 15, Folding Screen Monkeys. Now, I love the concept of this boss battle. You got 4 cheeky apes that are all running around a mystical temple, and it's up to you to figure out their weaknesses in order to, brutally murder them. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a puzzle boss that has this much bloodshed. It's the akin of basically completing a crossword and then setting fire to the book and then everyone around you. I mean, technically it's done, but no one else can do it. Plus, I loved seeing the internet just up in arms complaining that this was too difficult, and then remembering that dirty little monkey who's just invisible and acts like a big f*** you to the player. Trolling at its finest. Number 14, Guardian Ape. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that this was FromSoft saying, hey, remember those little monkeys, those little lads before who gave you such the runaround? Well, this is their big brother, and he's going to have a word with you. And boy, howdy did this boss battle deliver. A whomping great ape who storms about the arena, crashing through trees, truly made you feel like you were taking on King Kong. But it's his second stage that actually earned him the title of King Dong, because getting up from the dead to do battle again is a right horror show of a move. Now, I know that this one moment has been mean to death at this point, but let's appreciate the little things about this transition from the first to second stage, like the fact that, you know, the sword that was lodged in its neck that you helpfully just used to cut off the rest of his head, well, he now uses this in battle in a manner that's very much like, here, have it back, mate. I loved this boss, is what I'd say if I didn't have to fight it so many goddamn times, which leads us to number 13, Headless Ape. Well, look who's back, the poo-flinging primate that can't take no for an answer. I swear to Christ, when I saw this big lad pop up again, that I started screaming at the TV, you goddamn dirty ape, stay in the bloody ground, and began to lay into this walking carpet with all of my might. At first, I thought the battle was going pretty well, you know, seeing as it replicates a lot of the previous encounter, but more fool me for thinking that this large lad was gonna play fair. As halfway through the fight, he goes and summons his partner in order to dish out a double dose of death. This tag team offensive really threw me for a bit because now you were having to balance all of his wide sweeping attacks with other big pounding attacks that would smash you into the ground like you were but a fleshy tent peg. Still, with an ample supply of firecrackers and a good old dose of "have some of that, you stupid walking Chewbacca ripoff," you'll come out fine. Number 12, Corrupted Monk. What can you say about this one? It's a literal shell of its former self. It's not exactly the final boss battle, nor is it very hard, seeing as the fact that the arena that you fight in is very big, and she moves about as slow as erosion. To make the fight even easier, why not pop a few snap seeds and some divine confetti and just have a right popping party as you obliterate her health bar, now doing double damage to the monk and mashing through her attacks for a bit of tasty stun lock fun. Number 11, Emma and ISSHIN ASHINA. Now, I know that some people might be up in arms about this, grouping together two boss battles as one entry, but come on. I mean, the fact that you battle one directly after the other, the fact that if you die on the latter, it sends you back through the former, they count as one boss battle. And do not misconstrue my intent here. They are my favourite boss battles in the entire game. I love battling this duo. The emotion running through both fights as you side with Owl Dad and must now face down your former allies is heartbreaking at times, especially when Emma steps into the fray, because it's clear from her one health bar that this battle is indeed one-sided, but she is desperate enough to try and stop you from becoming Ashura. Plus, that doesn't mean that you should go underestimating her, because she will whoop your ass if you give her the space to. I definitely did underestimate her in the first few fights, and she sent me packing. However, it's once she's fallen that the real test begins, with ISSHIN acting as a hard counter to what you've just experienced. Here, the first phase is full of slower attacks, but also ones that home in, meaning that you have to dodge at the very last second. And in the subsequent phase, the entire arena becomes engulfed in flame, as now his attacks gain a huge elemental buff. It's so easy to panic with all of these things going on, but if you keep a cool and level head, you'll see things through to the end. And it's a shame, because while it's the best boss battles possibly in the entire game, it nets you the worst ending. Brilliant. Number 10, Great Shinobi Owl. Oh dear me, Daddy's hat's fallen off here, and now he's going toe-to-toe to have a rumble with Junior. Well, this is the thing, I adored this boss battle because it really felt like you were having a true test of your skills. After all, Owl's taught you everything that he knows, but it turns out that he's kept a few sneaky tricks up his sleeve for just such a scenario. Oh, naughty. I love how the battle plays out, especially when he's comboing firecrackers and anti-healing grenades in alongside throwing shurikens and indeed those quick swipes. You never feel like you're in complete control of this fight, but you can see that his age has slowed him down considerably when he leaves himself open to a flurry of blows. If only there was a way to experience him at his prime. Number 9, True Corrupted Monk. Finally, we get to meet the monk behind the myth, and it is... well, it's another piece of piss boss battle, to be honest. Well, assuming you're willing to cheese it, that is. And of course we are. Your previous confetti party won't work much on this monk, as she is indeed the real deal, but you can make her feel like a right fool by leaping up into the trees as soon as she pops her smoke bomb and then diving down on her to take off a full health bar in one go. In fact, it's only the final stage of the boss that gives players any trouble, and that's when the centipede within her bursts out to say hello. However, you can also mitigate the difficulty of this stage as well by using the Firecracker Stun Lock system, which is just pure brie-based cheese, and I absolutely love it. This, plus the sugars that double your damage, mean that you can just stand there and just go like, how'd you like that? How'd you like that? And she's just like, I don't like it, and now I'm dead. Thanks. Number 8, Divine Dragon. In terms of spectacle, the Divine Dragon is one of the most grandiose and, well, just incredible boss battles to look at, but when it comes to actually playing against it, well, you should definitely be embarrassed if you died fighting this, because this thing telegraphs its attacks so much it began winding them up in the bloody 1990s. Still, I guess this reflects the reluctance of the boss willing to do battle with you, but then again, if this was the case, why bother attacking us at all? Number 7, Owl Father. Right, so if you thought the first fight with Owl, Old Father Dearest here was tough, then you have seen nothing yet, my friend. Nothing, because here in this battle he's got a 50% movement speed buff and he's throwing out enough combinations to make even a pro fighting competition winner sweat. In order to survive, you basically have to forget everything about the previous battle, as if you try to repeat moves here, well, Dad's gonna dunk on you over and over. The number of moves that he can reel off will see even players at max health downed in just a few hits, so your parry game needs to be on point, and you are going to need to exploit each and every minuscule window. And after eating the old man's blade for breakfast, brunch, 11's, lunch, dinner, supper, and so on, you might start to question why they even call him Owl in the first place, because it's not to do with the clothes he wears or the long white beard or the wise nature of the old man, but it's because most of his victims end up going Owl. Number 6, Demon of Hatred. Who the hell snuck a Dark Souls boss into my Sekiro game? Was it you, Tony? Was it you? What are you like, mate? What are you like, you cheeky man? Hey? Oh. Seriously, it feels as if all of the design choices made for this title were thrown completely out of the window with this encounter, as the Demon of Hatred plays very much into a keep-away boss battle that you need to find windows to attack in rather than constantly push the offensive. Now, it's a brilliantly emotional battle considering what this Shura represents and how it could indeed be a path that you too have set yourself on, but this can be undone somewhat by the fact that you can just lure him to the side of the cliff here and push him off in about 30 to 40 seconds or so. Say hi to the ceaseless discharge when you get down there, mate. What a prick. Number 5, ISSHIN, the Sword Saint. So here we are, the final boss of the vanilla version of this game, and boy is it a good boss battle. And you know what I love the most about this is the fact that when GENICHIRO ASHINA steps up to the plate once more, he just seems so insignificant. Whereas before, you fought him, you felt really challenged. In the very first battle, it was hugely overwhelming. Now you're just laughing at his attacks, you're parrying everything you got because he's done all this to you before. You just go, yeah, you've got nothing, mate. There is nothing you can do that I haven't seen. Why is your dad climbing out of your chest? Thankfully for him, old granddaddy Dearest pops out of his spine and shows you how to have a real boss battle. And trust me, this is both a battle for the ages and one that can be cheesed the hell out of. If you go toe-to-toe with the greatest swordsman who ever lived reborn into a new body, then you can have the fight of your life, which will offer up a symphony of sword clangs and enough sweat to bloody drown someone in. However, you can also try the tactic of never stop running, and that, for some reason, just completely breaks his AI because he can never land a bloody attack on you, and then you just dive in and just go, have a few with him, backer, run. Have a few with him, backer, run. It definitely deflates the emotional, like, grandiose nature of the entire boss battle. You've got your lightning strikes, you've got your rain, you've got fighting in the same location that you started things on, and you're just running around him, and he's just like, are you going to get tired or not? He's like, nah, man, nah. Either way, it's still supremely satisfying to take him down once and for all. Again, is what I'd say if the new DLC didn't come out and rebalance 3 of the bosses to make them even harder. Looks like we're going in again, boys. Number 4, Inner Father. So, heading up the first of these 3 new boss battles, which were designed to be even more challenging, which sounds about as appealing as washing down a bowl full of broken glass and nails with a pint of acid, is indeed Inner Father, who will likely turn your innards into outards the first time that you fight him. Now, on paper, this boss actually sounds easier, as Owl doesn't use the poison attack nor the healing block grenades. However, there's one teeny tiny trade-off. He's even more aggressive. I didn't even think that this was possible, but yes, he's faster and in your face so much that his beard is bloody tickling the hole that he's just punched right through you. Oh yeah, and he can now teleport. Good. Number 3, Inner GENICHIRO. So remember before when I said that GENICHIRO was a complete pushover? Right, well, take that opinion and just plop it in the bin, because he ain't no joke anymore. Ow. Beginning the battle by immediately showing off his new moves, GENICHIRO will absolutely batter you if you don't parry or firecracker your way out of it. And even if you do manage to survive, then he'll present you with a spinning whirlwind attack that has such an awkward block timing that I swear that you're doing it to wind me up. You know what? I was wrong. I take it back, my dude. I take it back. You are the bee's knees. That vanilla version of you that was in the base game, we'll forget about that, because right now, as it stands, you're the king of Crap Mountain. Number 2, Inner ISSHIN. Who doesn't want a remixed and harder final boss fight than we had before, but this time starting with a mortal blade draw and has an extra health bar? Me neither. Well, tough, because that's what we got. And there we go, my friends. That was every main boss, but wait, I'm at number 2. What could possibly be number 1? Well, it's time for my favorite. It's time for the mini boss round. I'm hoping that the editors have done some explosions or like gunfire or something like that to make this a bit special. Otherwise, it's just me just doing this.
Can't be important.
Anyway, yeah, it's time for the mini bonus boss round. Hooray! And let's hear what my terrible pronunciation is about to go into overdrive, so, hey, bonus for you too. Samurai General Naomori Kawarada. Congratulations, you're the very first mini-boss to fall to our blade. Let's give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen. Oh look, he's also wearing a red shirt, so it's very fitting. Chained Ogre. The exact moment that many people from WhatCulture gave up on this game. God bless you, Ash. You tried your best. General Tenzen Yamauchi. The most challenging thing about this mini-boss battle is the fact that he's got all of his goons around him. So once you take him out, it's actually quite hilarious to watch this lumpy guy stride into battle and just go, wait, my boys. Oh dear. Headless. Okay, I'm going to group all of these headless warriors into one experience here, and that experience could be described as, no, I don't ever want to see this again. That is so gross. Get away from me. Get away from me. Shinobi Hunter ENSHIN of MISEN. This guy can utterly embarrass you when you first come up against him with his long poking attacks and near unblockable swipes, but once you get the Mikiri counter, oh, it's him with the red face, mainly because it's covered in his own blood. Juzu the Drunkard. Now this fella is mean. In fact, the name Drunkard is quite appropriate here because it'll make you feel like you've downed about 10 pints of bathtub gin if he hits you, but you can give him the hangover of a lifetime by summoning the NPC guy that's right next to his little shrine bit there, because now it's hilarious. He basically just takes all of the tanking hits for you and you just go up behind him and just be like, do you like this betwixt the cheeks? Straight up in there, mate. And he's just like, oh, I don't like that at all. Blazing Bull. If any boss is going to teach you how to dodge properly, this is it. 7 ASHINA spears, Shikibu Toshikatsu Yamauchi. Now, Shiki Baby here likes to mix things up by being a little bit more tougher and a bit more aggressive, but at the end of the day, he's still just a generic mini-boss. See you later, pal. Lone Shadow Longswordsman. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this guy absolutely battered me the first few times that I came up against him. What with his weird timings on his attacks, it always feels like he was going to hit a few seconds before he actually did. But you can absolutely have his life for a change if you decide to just keep hopping up onto the ledge, let him jump off, then he jumps back down, and he stands there for a few seconds, you just go, ah, and he jump back up again, and he goes, guess I'm following you, and then you just go back again, ah. Hilarious. Kuransuke Matsumoto. Another armored big general. Yeah, take out his goons and then open him up like a tin of tuna. ASHINA Elite, JINSUKE SAZE. Jesus Christ, talk about a wake-up call. Going from the big, heavily armored, slow-moving dudes to this guy, he moves like he's made of liquid butter. Snake Eyes Shirafuji. Hey, that's not fair. She brought a knife gun to a knife fight. Long-armed centipede giraffe and SEN-UN. Now, these are one of the very few battles that you can actually win by doing what you do in real life if you came up against one of these monstrosities, aka mashing the deflect button while going, no, go away. Shishimen Warrior. Now, I absolutely love these little boss battles with these guys because they pop up different places, throw out some horrible magic, disappear, and then come back again. And it creates this mystical nature, and you're just kind of like, whoa, this is a bit different from the regular boss battles. I'm enjoying this. But if you use a few items that deal damage to ghosts and spirits, well, it turns the battle into something akin to a moth trying to take on a walking bug zapper. It ain't gonna end well for him. Armored Warrior. I'm actually shocked this isn't a fully fledged boss battle in this game, but it's actually classed as a mini-boss. It has an interesting mechanic about being literally invincible and you've got to push it off the ledge, making for that beautiful aha moment when you finally get all the things clicking together. It has an interesting backstory and an interesting design. It's still relegated to mini-boss battle. Tokujiro the Glutton. I feel bad about this one because the way to make this boss battle easier is to kill his poor monkey friends. The guy's just hanging out with his apes, dude, and you just go there and you kill them all, and then he's just like, now I'm just fat and sad. Mist Noble. Oh no. Orin of the Water. Do not even talk to this minx because she will absolutely batter you for the privilege of sharing a few words with her. No, just do the noble thing, and that is by jump spamming attack on her straight away so that you get her into a stun lock and make the battle very, very easy. Lone Shadow Masanaga. God bless this guy, because you kind of had to feel bad for him as you can make his life absolute hell. Now, he's got this move where he can whistle and summon some dogs to attack you, but if you throw a shuriken straight away as soon as he does that, he just forgets to carry on with the move and doesn't do any more. Pretty rude, right? Well, not as rude as exploiting his pretty broken AI by guiding him all the way down to the bottom of the steps. Now, why would you do that, Jules? Why would you not fight him in the bigger arena? Just guide him all the way down there. When he gets to the bottom step, his AI will just go, no, can't go any further. Guess I'm going to take a very slow walk back up to the top. And you can just attack him, and he just walks. He's just like, dying and climbing stairs. This is not a way to go. Lone Shadow Valhand. You're taking the piss a bit here, mate, with your naming convention. Lone, your mate standing in the corner ready to backstab me, you prick. ASHINA Elite Ujinari Mizuo. Oh, Elite. Oh, you poor sweet summer child. You've just had your ass handed to you by a man spamming an umbrella attack. Elite, not even in the slightest. Shigekichi of the Red Guard. So remember in Super Punch-Out when Glass Joe got tired of having his ass knocked around, so decided to pop on some headgear so he could afford himself a few extra knocks? Well, this is kind of the same thing in this boss battle, because you've got extra armor on this guy. He's walking around feeling all tough, but the problem is that your spear can rip off said plates of armor, and now he's just a big floating meat blimp. Pop this balloon. And finally, OKAMI leader SHIZU. Now, before you cry foul of SHIZU being offside or some other terrible football pun about that cracking opening belter that they hit you with as you enter the boss little arena thing on the tree, remember that you can absolutely stun lock their ass into oblivion, which does make things seem a bit one-sided. And there we go, my friends. That was what every Sekiro Shadows Die Twice fan thinks about every Sekiro Shadows Die Twice boss. I hope you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below. And which other series would you like to see me tackle next? I hear Bloodborne. Do I hear Bloodborne? Can I get a Bloodborne from the crowd? Indeed, I'll do Bloodborne next. But if you want to chat to me further in between those 2 points, you can go follow me over on Twitter at RetroJ0, or you can swing by Instagram, where I'm doing lots of Warhammer model painting. That's what this station here is all about over there. It's RetroJ_Insta. Go check it out. Just slap your egg and a little follow on that. Good boy. Before I go, I just want to say one thing. Even though we detailed today a lot about bosses that make us rage, make us quit, and definitely give us some very salty opinions, I don't want you going out into the world feeling bad and carrying negativity and anger out there. That is not the way to live a healthy and happy life, my friend. So try and let go of that anger. Try and to forgive people if you have the capacity to do so, because it will let you lead a much healthier life. And that's all I want for you, is for you to go out there with love in your hearts, to build bridges instead of burning them. It's essential for the future of mankind and for your own mental happiness. Big love from me to you, all right? As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.